INDEXO was established or we launched the kind of started offer our product in 2017. Idea came around a bit earlier, 2016, and it was basically responding to very high fees and low returns in Latvian pension management business. At that time, returns were low, fees high, one contributing to another, and basically everybody told the banking sector and the pension managers, well, guys, cool, that's normal, can't be better, be happy what you have, and so on. And if there would be a much tougher competition, probably INDEXO would never come into existence. So they really screamed or opened, left a huge territory for disruption. And I always, since I left Nordea, I think that there's a lot to do, or there's a lot of opportunities in a Latvian banking sector or financial services industry, but of course it's something with relatively high, or not relatively actually, high barriers to entry, and I couldn't figure the good way how to kind of how to get back. And then INDEXO Eureka moment came when my business partner and co-founder of INDEXO, Henrik Karmo, who is Estonian by nationality, came to Latvia. I was introduced, and he was telling about their project in Estonia called Tuleva. They just launched, or were about to launch, and that was also basically in a very similar environment. In Estonia, same problem with a second pillar pension management, and the idea was low fee passive asset management, basically index tracking, which yields good returns. You can do it cheaply if you kind of backtrack and compare it to what the other pension managers were able to deliver. It was clearly this approach will do a better result. And okay, we can do it also in Latvia, and so it's. So it started, and in the beginning, it was more like I would say, okay, well, I would lie if I would say it wasn't ever a business idea. Yes, it was a business idea. Yes, we wanted this to become kind of self-sustainable and generate some returns to the investors, but we saw that it will stay relatively small. Okay, there will be some returns, and the main motivator was basically to show to the big guys, hey, see, we can do it. We can do better than you, and stop basically robbing Latvian consumers. But it turned out more successful than we anticipated in the beginning, and in early 2020s. We were approaching like 100,000 customers and hundreds of millions assets under management and so on. It became really a substantial business. Okay, first pillar, then second pillar, then we had the third pillar product. But still, it would be shame basically to stay there, not to utilize the 100,000+ customer base, the brand value for something else. And then we started to look around, and banking was a natural idea. And it was also to some extent de-risking, because if you are doing just one or two products,
someone can come and outcompete you. Yeah, and that's it.
Exactly. Or there might be some environment change or this and that, or legislation. So that was also another motivator. And in a banking, it was a bit deja vu situation, because we also saw that there is a lack of competition. The fees are high, banks earning a lot of money, and so on. So okay, we did it there. We can repeat it with the banking. And so the banking journey started then.
But when you started INDEXO Pension Fund, you had a vision that this could go into the bank, or that was something that you couldn't imagine that INDEXO could grow so successful that it can turn into the bank as well?
Seriously not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you always have some dreams and hopes for something better, but it wasn't really a specific plan that we
It'll be the bank, yeah.
It'll be bank. No, it came really later. So we launched 17, maybe 2020 we started to think about it. Yeah.
Can you get us through this decision making? So how you decide, okay, let's do the bank, because that's a huge decision. Yeah. So it changes the whole spectrum of what you can do. So how you came to this? Yes, let's do this.
Yeah, okay. If I remember very well the day when I met Henrik and when we decided, okay, let's build a pension business, I don't think there was a moment like this for a bank. It was more like, what's next? Maybe bank, maybe payment institution. Oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, bank. I think it was kind of a longer process to get there. But I remember how the discussion started. Discussion started that with the custody services. We, as the pension manager, we need a custody bank, and we need to pay to the custody bank a certain fee for them keeping our
money,
the money and the securities, all the pension assets we invest in. This is also a control mechanism. So okay. Of course, we can't do whatever we intend to do. There is the custody bank also checks that we follow legislation and investment prospectus and everything and everything. So it's a separation of duties and control. And if like in developed markets, very competitive markets like UK, United States, wherever you would be charged 1-2 basis points for service like this, then in Latvia initially we were charged 12 basis points.
Oh, wow.
So we have like today we have a 1.5 billion assets under management. So it means that we need to pay to almost 2 million a year to a custody bank, basically not doing much. And okay, we at that moment we didn't have yet a billion assets under management, and then then we tried to kind of negotiate or organize tenders or you know talk to everybody, but you know, well,
those are Latvian banks.
Latvian banks,
right?
and by the law, it's restricted.
Okay, only few banks.
Yeah, basically there are 2-3 service providers, and I said.
This is
so that's the price. That's the price, and then we saw that product alone probably could justify us to investing 5 million in a bank capital, and you basically do the bank for one product, one customer, do just the custody services for ourselves, and that was actually the. We of course, if we would launch the bank this way, we would never stop there. We would add gradually other products. But that path that we start one bank for one product, one customer, didn't fly well with the regulators. They didn't want to do that. They basically either you go into banking or you don't go into banking. So we needed to readjust and make a bigger first step. But the initial idea was, okay, let's make a small first step and then add
the products and
other services, and then we almost would be profitable from the day one. Now we need to kind of go a bit all into the banking project. Yeah.
Okay, and so what was the initial business plan for the bank? Okay, one was that this custody services for the pension funds. So what else was the product line which you put into the business plan for the licensing?
Yeah, no, that's how we basically what we are doing. So we have delayed now the launch of SME services, but okay, custody services, and then we thought, okay, our customer base is retail customers, private individuals. Then retail customers are also easier from IML, from regulatory perspective, etc. So let's launch with a services for private individuals, and then add other things. And of course, you can't endlessly develop all the possible products in the world. You need to launch, and then you add. So when we launched, the product basket was payments, card, consumer loans, deposits, saving vaults, etc. I think a very, very nice and modern app. I think it's the best in the Latvian market, so maybe globally somebody has something better, but true native app without any kind of web disturbances. Yeah, it's all native app, both for Android and Apple. So that's how we launched, and then we have gradually added other products. Probably the most visible is mortgage refinancing product, and soon to be added other versions of the mortgage product as well. Yeah. And SME banking is coming. We just kind of all this journey took more time, more money, and we think we need to start to recover some of the investments we made before increasing further our costs and really going to SME. But that's a must. We absolutely need to do it. And for some people, like the owner and the company is all like one or the same person.
Yeah. How big was the team when you decided, okay, let's go for the banking licenses? So what was the team size at that stage?
When we decided, maybe 5 people.
5 people only.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's very ambitious. Yeah. So you have to.
But then of course we needed to recruit kind of IT and other people to go through. The licensing process for a bank is extremely demanding, and that was the first instance when as you mentioned in the beginning, new bank in Latvia is anyway something exotic. But new bank launched after Latvia joined Eurozone, which was 1st of January 2014. That is exactly the first case. Never ever any bank in Latvia obtained a license since 2014. And what's the big difference is that right now, since we joined Eurozone, all the bank licensing decision and other significant decisions regarding some bank acquisitions and change of controls and that kind of decisions are done by ECB centrally. So the local regulator.
European Central Bank.
Yeah, European Central Bank. Local regulator plays a role in that process, but ultimate decision making is there. And that was a learning experience for everybody, and of course they also act as a gatekeepers. Of course they don't, that give the banking licenses around the first man who comes and asks for it, and that's understandable. But somehow the process was more heavy, more complicated, more demanding than I anticipated in the beginning. You basically need to have all your key team there. You need to have all key policies, procedures. You need to have a key IT systems. If not only already functional, then you have to have a very clear plan how this bank will work. And that costs a lot of money, and of course if you get to the positive decision afterwards, okay, fine, then you can use it. But imagine if it's a negative decision, then it's a huge
investment lost.
Huge waste.
But so you were 5 persons, so how you actually kick off the licensing process? You go to the bank and say, we want to do the license, or you actually do some already structuring before you go to the regulator? So how did you do that?
No, of course you kind of, you can't go to the regulator and say, okay, I want to launch a new bank, tell me what I need to do, and I know nothing, so
let's launch it.
It would be a strange conversation. Of course you need to go prepared, and but anyway, we went quite early. and for different reasons. Of course, first of all, to check our idea, to keep regulator informed. I think it would be also strange if we would be secretly working on that and then somehow
surprise, we have the
news,
package.
News would leak. So we went quite early, but you need to go quite early, but you shouldn't go completely unprepared. So you need to do some prep work. And I think, try to recall, I think the first conversation we had was at the end of 2021, that we have this idea, etc. And I have to say that the regulator, the bank of FKTK still at that time, which became Bank of Latvia, they were quite supportive and well, within the boundaries how friendly regulator can be to the somebody applying for a license. I think they were very supportive in that process. So yeah.
Okay, let's check in with the audience. The first two surveys. First, you are quite young audience with question: who has INDEXO pension fund? Okay, few clients. Who has INDEXO banking app? Less clients, so there is still potential in the younger audience.
I think it's quite representative. So by number of, okay, still I would hope that in a younger audience it would be different, but I think in a pension business we have around 12-ish, like measured by number of customers, and 15-ish measured by the volume. So probably it was 1/10 of the audience. And when it comes to the banking app, then then we have soon 50,000 customers. So that would be probably 5% of economically
That's
active
already
population.
monthly active users, or those are
No,
who have downloaded?
who opened account.
Okay.
Who opened account. Yeah. Of course, there is a difference. Opened account and I used the account, but opened account.
Open account. Okay.
And it's 5 minutes, guys. You'll be surprised how easy it is. Just try it. Just test it. If it's, basically the best account, fastest account opening we checked. We almost wanted to in the beginning to, okay, let's launch a competition just to signal how easy it is. The fastest is in less than 2 minutes, and on average it's 5 minutes to open.
We can do the challenge by the end of this FinTech Close-Up. How many accounts we can open? Yeah. So. So, okay, maybe audience has some questions so far about the discussion. Yes, please.
With the mic, please.
Okay, do you see a future scenario in the banking industry that the core operations that are performed by humans are replaced by algorithms from the IT team, like data science or data engineers, or the operations will be like peripheral, not the core ones. I mean automated. The pipeline will be automated.
Directly in AI and automation.
Of course, very hot topic, and it's difficult to predict exactly where it will take us. But I think definitely much more than today, and today is already much more than yesterday. So I think it will transform certainly the way not only banking but many businesses are done. Where probably are limitations, and I for instance in IML checkups, etc. It looks like a good task for AI. You can automate, you can do this and that. It doesn't fly well neither with regulators, nor I think in general with human beings. There needs to be a kind of a transparency or explainability how a certain decisions are made. Same probably applies also to credit decisions. So I think there will be a certain friction of kind of outsourcing completely certain tasks to AI, even if it will demonstrate a capability of dealing with that quite well. As long as it will stay as kind of a black box. Okay, we feed the data, you give us answer.
The regulator will
There
not
might
accept
be
that, yeah.
there might be some friction friction with that. But of course, when it comes to automation, digitalization, automatization, there is a yeah.
There is potential.
There
to
is
do
there
a
is
lot, yeah.
potential, and lot has changed. Though, and there we see also our competitive advantage, because even if the banking sector in Baltic countries is relatively new, it's still 30 years old or 20 plus years old. So they already have a legacy systems and old technologies, etc., which is difficult to replace. And since we built our bank in recently, not because we are wiser than the others, but just because of the fact we did it now with the latest technology, we have advantages. Yeah, we all are in cloud, and we don't have any data centers or anything like that.
You already now feel this flexibility that you are more fast-paced, you can keep more fast-paced on some innovations or some product developments?
Yeah, of course we're restricted. We don't have all the money in the world, and we can't hire,
so the money is restriction.
Money is a restriction, but otherwise, I think we are definitely able to move faster. When that's a risky part, of course, when you start with a small startup-y entrepreneurial spirit, and then you put in this highly regulated environment, you can lose it very fast, and then, oh, what Bank of Latvia will say about it, and this and that, and there is a regulation, and you lose that spirit. But I think we still are, for instance, okay, just illustration, when we tried to recruit for our mortgage loan some people from competition, and basically we said, okay, we have some ideas, we have already some prototypes in place, and we want to launch in 4 to 6 months. What? No. You guys don't understand. In the banking, the product, like a mortgage, which is a complicated product, you need to count at least 2 years, maybe more, to basically, you have to think about this and this and this and that. No, I'm not. If you're serious about launching it in 4 months, I'm not even interested in this position, and so on, and we launched. But that's probably okay. The mentality, and that's probably also about the IT restrictions and so on. If you are in a big environment, big animal, and then adding a new products is it's more difficult than for a new one. So I think we can move faster now. When we come to that same mortgage, we had a problem in the beginning. Okay, basically in app you fill in the form. Okay, standard questions again takes another 5 minutes to fill in the form. Push the button, and then normally in 3, 4, 5 minutes you get the offer. Yeah, we are ready to give you a mortgage on those conditions, and the people saw that it's not serious. I can't trust it. It's not a bank.
It's too fast.
It's too fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the normal mortgage decision process is at least 2-3 days. So if they are giving me offer in a 5 minutes, no, it's not serious. I'm not taking. So we needed to call them and push them and explain. Hey, yeah, okay. Go.
The next level challenge will open account and get the mortgage offer. Yeah, so.
Or
you can step up this.
Or consumer loan, you also can get in 5 minutes.
Okay, any other questions so far? Yes, please. Catch the mic. It's safe.
How has the competition adjusted with you in the market?
I think for they completely ignored when we entered the pension business. Okay, they made some efforts, which was more like, ha ha ha, look at those idiots. They will last for 1 year, and that's it. So they didn't do anything more like
So it's overlooked anything.
arrogance helped us a lot. I think they're a bit more vigilant right now. We know, for instance, when you will Google like INDEXO mortgage or INDEXO account, etc., you get a sponsored ads from many competitors. So they are watching us more closer. But still, I think there is still a okay. Don't tell them, but still there is a good dose of arrogance, which I appreciate, which I'm happy.
You
So
can leverage
if they would take us too seriously, then it would be difficult. But yeah, the same mortgage refinancing, which is, by the way, by some of the kind of regulators, etc., mentioned. Yeah, okay, we simplified this mortgage refinancing process. And by the way, they did a good job by simplifying. It's really easy right now. And you see what happens. You know, the consumers either get the lower margins in their existing banks, or they change the bank, etc. But the problem is that 70% of those who actually change their bank to INDEXO. So that shouldn't be like this for somebody who is less than or 1 year old, launched a mortgage product in late May and getting a 70% market share of refinancing market. Well, it shouldn't be like this. And also okay, there is many people just don't go through the whole process. They kind of initiate that, and then their existing bank. Stop. Let's talk about it, and we can do this for you or that for you or so on. And but they at least get the better terms. And also our calculation is based on publicly available data that about 70% of those who stayed in their existing banks and got a better offer, they got with a INDEXO offer basically. One of the colleagues told that her friend basically told her experience weeks ago that one bank, okay, I want to refinance my mortgage. No, you actually have a good deal, and you know we don't think you'll get anywhere better. Okay, I'm going to one of the market leaders. Yeah, well, they probably no. We don't think they see the world the same way as we do. We don't think you'll get anything better. And then even getting our offer, the person said, "Well, I have INDEXO offer." Stop. Let's start.
Different discussion already.
Then the discussion started basically. Yeah.
Okay. I have to use this. I haven't used this term yet. The INDEXO offer. But okay, let's go back to the licensing process, because that's interesting to also for students maybe to understand. As you already mentioned, that was way harder and complex than you anticipated. But so what are your key learnings from this process? So what worked well, for example? So what was the main challenges which you didn't expect to be there?
Well, I think it's a very specific. We didn't understand. You know those EBA guidelines when you have what kind of documents you should submit and how the business plan should be structured, and etc. They're very quite general, and it's a bit easy to misunderstand certain requirements, etc. And I think we bit wasted time with the regulator, with kind of through Bank of Latvia, with ECB, that saying, well, come on, this is, how do you understand this common sense, etc. Well, basically response was, rules are the rules, and those are the rules, and not knowing those rules and all the requirements into the detailed enough level, we probably wasted 3 to 6 months in the process. So if I would need to go through the licensing process again, I think we would be able to do it faster. But those are very kind of specific.
That's interpretation issue that you kind of see
no,
that it's
no,
regulation, but it should be different, meant
yeah,
different,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, or maybe some of those are not very clearly defined, and yeah, maybe interpretation. You know, that they are the ways how they look at
See
the
this,
things,
yeah.
how they see the things, and what are the standards, and yeah, what you should follow, or yeah.
And what worked well, maybe there is something that you are like, see that this, okay, this is good what we did, and everyone else should do that same.
I don't want more competition now. Yeah, okay. Well, it's a very strict. Okay, it's a very strict. There is you have to have a 36 months very detailed business plan, which for startups is a challenge. But okay, that's a requirement. That's not negotiable, and you basically need to have the capital or all the funding for that 36 months period, and there was some certain misunderstandings which I referred a bit minute ago. Yeah. Then what worked well? No, of course that we had already the pension business. We had 120,000 customers at that moment. We had some revenue stream, etc. That definitely helped. That helped, yeah. Okay. Not everybody may have in that privileged position, but then you probably would need even more capital up front to go there.
So it helps that you have already the business, which can be kind of converted to the banking services, right?
Yes. And of course, naturally, it helped us as well to launch. So the first customers came from our bank customers came from the pension customers. But the challenge in the process, what I was expecting, more like a granularity or graduality in the process, that okay, you start with a conceptual discussion of the business plan, etc. Then you tick it, then you go into more detailed level, okay, IT systems, policies, procedures, you tick it, and then you go further and further and further. It doesn't work like this. And maybe to some extent I also understand the ECB. They would be probably bombarded by stupid business plans, which they would need to read and say if it works, or 90% of them doesn't work. So the problem is that there is a huge list. If all those papers would be printed, of course you submit them in a digital format. But if they would be printed, it would be like that box of the TV set from 80s, like this, and then you have to submit all that box, and then only then they really start
to review
reading it carefully, and you have to. And that's why you have to make this significant investment. You can't get some kind of guidance a bit early in the process where to go. That's not specific for Latvia. That's how the ECB works. So you have to be prepared to accept it. That's how it is. Yeah.
Okay, one thing is to get the license and start the operations. Second is how to keep up with the regulations. So is that the complexity for you, or that's something that already is like business operations and also upcoming like policies? What's your view on that?
Well, of course, one shouldn't be naive, but yeah, there is lots of them. It's a heavy regulation, and I was kind of prepared for them, but I was still shocked, specifically about risk management, all sort of, not only credit risk, all sort of operational risks and outsourcing risks and whatever. How detailed are those regulations, and you know that they are actually forcing you sometimes to tick the boxes, which frankly doesn't make much sense for a small organization, but you have to still demonstrate that you that you follow them. And another area is IML, the anti-money laundering things. So it's a heavy burden for a small organization. For a large organization, when you have a huge customer base and revenues, etc., you can probably spread the costs over them. But in early stages, it's heavy.
For you, it's still like a burden, or you already see this as a business cost of doing business? So on what stage you are on this regulatory maturity, I would say?
Well, it is part of the license to operate, but of course, we're also learning to apply them in a more meaningful meaningful ways. The problem is, for instance, when you go through the license process, you need to write those policies and procedures, and just imagine it's like making a suit for a person whom you have never seen. You try to imagine, okay, it's probably like this.
It's a guessing game.
Yeah, it's a guessing game. So you write how you can write policy is a bit maybe easier, but there's certain key procedures. If you don't know yourself exactly how the system will work, how the process will be, but anyway, you are supposed to. Then you start operating, and then you redo it. So you make the suit, you put eventually the person comes, you put it on. It's ugly, one too short, too long, and so on. Then you start to adjust it, and that has been a large part of the first year of operation of readjusting or learning actually also have to follow all those regulatory requirements. And still we are on a journey. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough about regulation. Let's go to the business part. Yeah. So, what's in your opinion has been the key drivers for the INDEXO growth? Okay, the pension fund was a really good base to also go into the banking. Yeah. So, but like for banking services, so what you see as a key drivers there?
Yeah. No, of course, in a banking, so we're still in the early days. Okay, we're a bit more than a year old now. We're still kind of burning money, but we're growing loan portfolio fast, and revenues grows fast. So we are on a path to on a group level at least to break even in next 4 to 6 months or so. So I think with there that there is some evidence of success, and also like a 50,000 customers, which is also makes us maybe 5th largest bank in the market, not measured by number of customers, etc. So both in a pension business and in a banking business, and I would say it's not only for INDEXO, it's more universal. Is that okay, I don't want to sound naive or altruistic or whatever, but it's probably wrong mindset, and you shouldn't do anything entrepreneurial if your ultimate goal is to make money, to become rich or something. It just doesn't work like that. Your mindset should be of building a better mousetrap or better photo camera or whatever. You see the problem, you want to fix it, you create a value, you solve for a customer a problem, you create a value, and then the money and everything is a nice byproduct. And I think that's the way INDEXO was established when it about the pension management business, and to a large extent also that's the way we approach the banking situation. Yeah.
Then what is the ultimate goal? What INDEXO wants to do? Like, what is the mindset? How you're creating these products? So. Solving the problem. Yeah, like a bank account opening takes days. Well, we did it in 5 minutes. The mortgage offer, days. You get it in INDEXO in 5 minutes. So consumer loans, okay, consumer loans you can get from non-bank lenders in seconds. In a banks it was
at best hours, 5 minutes in INDEXO. And
So the speed
the
is one of the...
speed is one of them, but it's also the product design, so that you understand it, and UX, the native app, the pricing. I think we try to be transparent about the pricing, what we charge. We try to be very simple. It doesn't help always, you know. It opens some room from competitors for manipulation. Yeah, well, they charge this, but we actually charge this, but you know, behind the back they take something else. But yeah, we try to be like this, and yeah.
Okay, few numbers. So you already mentioned like 50,000 accounts opened. Yeah, so 1.5 billion assets under management. That's
In the pensions,
in
yeah.
the pension side. Yeah. So what is the loan portfolio currently?
Approaching 50 million euros.
That's on together with the mortgage and consumer.
Yeah. Still, consumer is a bit bigger, but of course mortgages are catching up because we launched them later. So in September, October, we issued like 10 million euros in new loans.
No loans, okay.
So that is something
Also
plus minus we believe will
payment
continue.
transactions also something. So are users switching as a primary bank, or they are using this as a secondary bank? Because that's the issue with the new banks, that usually they are secondary banks, not the primary ones.
That is the problem. Of course, it's an effort to convince to open account, to try us out. And of course, it's even a bigger effort actually to convince then the customers to start using it account. First step maybe as a secondary bank, and then as a main bank. That's a journey. We discussed also before. It's not only Latvia phenomena that people are quite conservative, and you need to be patient and very systematic, etc. Just building a product and paying. Which we do, like 1% interest rate for current account balances, and more than competition for savings vaults, and more for deposits. So rationally thinking, okay, just one example. Latvian consumers keep in Latvian banks around 10 billion euros. Some 80% of that is current account balances. So 8 billion euros. For 8 billion euros, they are paid nothing. Zero, absolutely zero. So if all those 8 billion euros would come to INDEXO tonight, the Latvian society would get 80,000 million euros per year. So it's a almost macroeconomics affecting figure. Every year, 80 millions money, etc. If everybody would be rational, okay, not maybe all amount my money, but something, or it's those instant payments, you know, second here, second there. You can move your money, you can, you know, earn something from INDEXO. We have only like 65, 70 million euros. Okay. It's just the beginning. You need to communicate, but it is a challenge. When it comes specifically then to the financial services, people are conservative. They are, you know, the old habits and laziness, sometimes ignorance. Okay, maybe financial literacy as well. Those are the forces which
doesn't help. Yeah.
Which doesn't help. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's check again with the audience. Any questions here?
Yeah, so a lot of the youth, when choosing a banking provider, they usually talk to their parents, and their parents give them the which usually they use. And once they reach maybe 18 or maybe older, they won't want to try to switch. So my question is, what kind of actions is INDEXO taking into kind of targeting the youth into choosing INDEXO as their primary provider?
I think it's all digital, like native app and all that. I think by design, it's probably more appealing to younger audience than somebody who's 60, 70 years old. Yeah, indeed, we need to do more. We are the bit also delayed, but right now designing the kind of junior account exactly for the situations that the parents would very easy open account, and then the young person up until age of 18 would have it would be legally his account, and then there would be a special app version, etc. But that's still
In the pipeline.
still in a pipeline. We are working on that, but don't have a specific launch date. And then we need also to do a more attractive pricing for young individuals. So we still have something to do.
You need to put those active INDEXO stands in the schools, not in the malls. So they are very actively selling the services.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that schools allow to market something, but maybe that's an option.
Hello. You mentioned that people often use INDEXO as a secondary bank, and my question is to you, apart from INDEXO, in which banks or bank do you have a personal account in?
Me?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think that we are not shy. Okay, it's if we have tried several sales pitches, and basically, if you say open account, basically close the old account, do all business with us, and so on. There is a bit like a reaction like this. It's like you meet a boy or girl, and on the first date, he or she starts to speak about the marriage. So it's not taken that well. Then usually there is no second date. So the sales pitch is just try us out, do something with us, take the card, make some payments, see it's easy and cool, and then you can gradually migrate. Of course, our ultimate goal, we want people to move over. I myself, yeah, I have as just a gathering of market intelligence. I have in several bank accounts, not using them very actively, and because of my Nordea background, for historical reasons, I have a Luminor, which is now my second bank. INDEXO is my primary bank, and Luminor is my second bank, but I still do account. Yeah.
All right. Christine?
Don't try. I can never try. Oh, you can try. Maybe. Okay, I did it.
Thank you very much for coming here. We very much appreciate it. I have a question about risk appetite for making mistakes, because the third course we have is about prototyping, and you chose to launch the bank app very quickly, and you experienced several glitches, and you had to wait until you get into the App Store, etc. So what is your appetite for making these sorts of mistakes when you launch, and what's your PR strategy for rectifying them?
No, I think it's a very okay. Well, how much time I have? I can go. It's a very close topic to me about making mistakes, etc. I think in general the principle, of course, what is thin is not trying, sin is not finding out that doing things a certain way doesn't work. The crime is not even trying. Though still I'm also not in a camp that some startups say we celebrate failures. Yeah, we. No, there are failures and failures, and I read a good book about that, which was Financial Times FT book of the year, I think 24 or 23. Right way or wrong or something. It was also about the mistakes or right mistakes, etc. So, and the author tried to kind of classify. So there are certain mistakes which many have tried before, and just repeating them is just stupidity, and you need to be killed immediately. If you try driving driving drunk or whatever, doing like that, or everybody tried, this doesn't work, it's a stupid, and well, I decided to try it out myself, it's a stupidity. And then is also stupidity. You need to see also weight how big the gamble is. You never should kind of gamble. Okay, I'll just jump from this bridge and find out how deep is there. You may simply not survive it, and so on. So there are stupid mistakes, and then there are calculated mistakes, and then you're doing a certain risks which you can afford, and those really has to be encouraged. But this is and also then they should be shared, discussed, and you learn from that. You tell your colleagues, I tried it, that doesn't work, and so on. But human nature is a bit resisting that kind of approach. We are shy of mistakes and so on and so forth. But we try to be in a camp that basically we try to take a calculated mistakes, not doing crazy experiments, but then not trying is a problem. Like some booksellers or whatever say every fourth customer is buys something from you, and then you make, I don't know, $10 or €10 out of that, and then you go and you're refused in one place. Yes, I made like $250 now. I go to another, because eventually the fourth time will work. But okay, I don't know if
I see.
making
This is
myself
really
clear.
close topic to
Yeah,
So I have to ask. So is going for the bank license the biggest calculated risk that you have taken so far in the business world?
It was a huge gamble. Yes, it was. Frankly speaking, I had some sleepless nights, and it was. I wouldn't say, well, it would destroy INDEXO, but it would substantially, the kind of failure of being stuck on not having a banking license still today. That would be close to existential problem. So
you would do it again?
Yeah, probably, but that was maybe something between the calculated gamble and something super opportunistic. So yeah, okay. Though on one hand, I never doubted that we will not get the license. We are in a business. We are licensed already by the local regulator. We have over 100,000 customers. We have a revenue. It's a good story. We fit well. So I didn't think. I felt we'll getting there, but of course, at the moments when it drags on and drags on and drags on, you have.
Was there a moment that you wanted to step out of this? That you were already okay? I'm not doing this anymore.
No. Well,
or you just push
not giving up. Not
okay,
giving up.
Okay,
easy,
good. Good. Any last questions? Yeah, there is an audience. Oh, that's a huge throw.
Okay, this is not being filmed, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. My question is about your business strategy. We've seen you're going, INDEXO Bank is going for private individuals. From today, I've heard that you're also targeting at some point going for legal entities. What's the reason you choose this way at first? Going for private individuals and only then targeting business.
Mm-hmm. The private, I think I mentioned somewhere, maybe it was not so clear, but okay, the pension business has 150 almost 1,000 customers at that moment, around 100,000 customers, which all are private individuals. So we had a customer base and cross-selling to them, etc. So we have we had 0 legal entities, but 100,000 private individuals. So that was one reason. And the second reason is that somehow IML and several other procedures and regulatory environment is easier, simpler to follow when we deal with the private individuals who are Latvian residents, citizens, etc. So that was the main. We just figured out. Okay, we have the customers to cross-sell, and that's the easiest way to start. But adding legal entities was planned from the beginning. In the beginning, we said, okay, like 9 months after the launch, we'll do it. Now we are 1 year old. I still probably would say that it's 6 to 9 months from now. Yeah.
Okay, the last question. Another big throw. Yes,
Good.
nice.
Thank you. Yes. So my question would be more of how to ask, have you been already had any proposals about acquiring INDEXO even before as a pension level system or as a bank, for example, from some banks or other investors?
Okay. Okay. Discounting all and serious offers like I give you €1, give me your bank. But serious offers we had constantly when with a pension business. We had not since we launched the bank, but like once a 6 months somebody wanted to talk. Yeah, well, guys, maybe we want to cash in and give us pension business over. Yeah.
Is there still place in the pension business?
Difficult because we are also refocusing from the second pillar, which is majority of our pension assets management, to the third pillar, because probably second pillar is getting somewhat over-regulated, and when it comes also to the pricing, and I think that's a big mistake that legislators are trying to push just the fee down for a second. They're doing it to the extent that it doesn't really make sense anymore to do it as a business. And that's why we are not investing so heavily in acquiring second pillar customers anymore. And I think it's a very short-sighted. So probably it's done with a good intentions. Okay, let's push the fees down so that the more will stay with consumers, etc. But they kind of cement status quo. They are still right now poor performing pension plans with a low fees, and consumers will simply not be informed about the better opportunities. You do the fee regulations in the markets which you want to kill in a way. There are in some EU countries, and I understand in Latvia as well, that the cigarette sales margin is regulated. It's not because of intention that let's ensure that
less people are smoking,
that the people are getting cheap cigarettes, so we are not letting the retailer to charge a huge margin on the cigarettes. It's done because we don't want anybody to be interested in selling cigarettes, so the cigarettes will become less available naturally. Yeah. So and bit that's happening, for instance, with a second pillar. The viral withdrawal from the market was the opportunity. Yeah, and we haven't we've never went for temptation to sell the business. We bought viral, so we do the opposite.
So with the pension business, you started in the right moment, because currently if you would start, then that's it. There is no game anymore. Yeah. So it's really important also to be in the right moment and get this
I think the fees are low. They're regulated, so you can charge a bit more when you're smaller, but then when you grow, then the days go down, and then when we launched, there was no like passive asset management, etc. So everybody laughed at us in the beginning and criticized how stupid idea it is to launch the passively managed pension fund. And now everybody, either in second or third pillar, all the competitors, or almost all, have a passively managed funds which are best performing in their portfolios. So it would be much more difficult to differentiate yourself. So what you would do, you would launch, we are just INDEXO, just more INDEXO, or what would be your message? Yeah.
Yeah, I see that we could talk and talk, but we have to wrap up. But for students, it's always interesting to hear some experienced piece of advice. So if you would have to give one piece of advice for someone who is starting the fintech company tomorrow or today, what it would be?
I think, what I said before, pardon for repeating myself, it's not fintech only, but it's a very, very general for a business. Don't do it to make money. If you approach it that way, probably you will fail. You do it for you solving a problem, you're making a world a better place, or whatever. And that's also, then you'll be passionate about it, and that will be much more fun to do it, and so on. And the money will come. That's natural. If you start from the money angle, I think you are more likely to fail. That's my opinion. And about the fintech specifically, the patience, you need to really sell your products. It's just, you may have the most beautiful and best product, etc., and the consumers are conservative, and you need a lot of explaining, a lot of persuasion, and it takes time and effort and so on, and you just have to count that it'll take an effort and time, the selling and convincing that your product is really good.
All right. Yes. So if you build it, the money will come. Yeah. So there is something similar. So thank you very much, Valdis, for today's discussion. It was really, really good. So we have a small present to you as well. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we are switching off the live stream, just a reminder, we have one more FinTech Close-Up this year. It will be on December 8th, and for the first time, we will have the international speaker. Yeah? So we will have Viktor Bodnar from Blockben, which is a Hungarian crypto asset blockchain company. Yeah? So we will have a bit different topic there. So thank you, everyone, and see you next time.